One Piece chapter 1127, it is titled Adventure in the Land of Mystery. Yamato and Inuyasha are eating onigiri together as she informs him about the disappearances, where he starts to grow concerned, and it's important to mention that Inuyasha is the daimyo of Kiri, so the disappearances are important to him even more since he holds such a high position. There's a fire that has started in the forest, and we later in the chapter find out exactly what this fire is, but I saw some people say that it's Sanji's Ifrit Janbei flames, which isn't true because one of the giants mentioned the smell, and in the scans it says what's the aroma, and most of the times aroma is associated with food. It's really fragrance in general, but most people typically use it with food. I'll talk about what food it was later in the video, but for those that are saying that Sanji did it, technically they're right, but it's not because of an attack. But the giants are concerned that the flames could spread to the Yggdrasil tree, which the country would be done for, and they need to report this to the great sun god. A little bit of history of what the Yggdrasil is. It's a giant ash tree in Norse mythology that connects the 9 worlds and is considered the tree of life. I'm going to talk a little about the 9 worlds, and I looked up how to pronounce them before. I'm gonna try my best. I apologize in advance. I know how some of y'all be in my comments. Y'all love grilling me whenever I mispronounce something. The first world is Midgard, and it's the world of humanity. The next is Asgard, the home of Aesir, tribe of god and goddesses. The next is Vanaheim, the home of Vanir, tribe of god and goddesses. Next is Jotunheim, home to Jotnar. Next is Niflheim, it's the primordial world of ice and home to the frost Jotnar. Muspelheim is the primordial world of fire and home to the fire Jotnar. Alfheim is the world of the elves. Nidavellir is the world of the dwarves. Lastly is Helheim, the realm of the eponymous goddess Hel and the dishonored dead. There's a theory that the Straw Hats could end up in a different Elbaf realm, and Zoro will go to Helheim, of course, we know for obvious reasons. Luffy, being the sun god, would probably be taken to the current sun god, and I'm not entirely sure who the current sun god is. Maybe it's Loki, and he's tricking the other giants with his mischief, which I'll reference a lot during this video. But I can't wait to see the interaction between Luffy, who is sun god Nika, and the self-proclaimed sun god that the giants are worshipping. I also want to mention that there's been reports that the mighty ear god has collapsed, and he took the form of an enormous rabbit, which I'll talk about also a little bit later. We cut back to Nami, who's been destroying stingmores that have appeared in the castle. She's by herself and she's looking for someone to save her, whether it's Luffy, Zoro, or Sanji. Heck, she's even willing to be saved by Usopp. We get a better look at her Elbaf outfit, and she hears someone screaming, and then she goes to check it out, where she runs into a huge bear, tanuki sort of looking thing. Honestly, I'm not sure what this animal is. Heck, it might even be a porcupine, because whenever Nami startled it got angry, spikes appeared, and it chased her, who finally she ended up meeting up with Usopp, who unfortunately he's getting eaten by a gigantic cat. Nami's panicking and uses Zeus, who shots the tanuki creature, who then topples onto the cat, and they both get shocked, and now that the cat's pissed, they're chasing after both Nami and Usopp, and this is where we get a better look at Usopp's Elbaf fit, which I have to say, this might be my favorite of the Straw Hats so far. As they're running, they're at a dead end, where Nami brings up the fact that the green fairy drink that they drunk in the previous chapter, it's a drink that brings up and causes hallucinations. Usopp's like, oh word, since we're hallucinating, I can stand in front of this cat no problem. He stands proud, and unfortunately Usopp, he gets the dog snot smacked out of him, or should I say cat snot.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
Regardless, Usopp, he got folded, which it's not a good start for him, especially because we believe that this is going to be his arc. As they fell, the cat turned into a lion, and I feel like a common theme so far is that these animals, they have the ability to turn into multiple creatures, or at least the superior version of what they previously were. And I wonder if this is a reference to Aesop Fables. If you guys don't know what Aesop Fables is, it's a short story series that, you know, are about animals that tend to teach teach lessons. And Aesop, the writer, he was a slave and a storyteller who created these fables. And although Usopp's not a slave, he is a liar, so I wonder if Oda is using Aesop fables in this arc because of Elbaf and Usopp. Kind of crazy. I haven't heard, or at least like used the term Aesop fables since I was in like middle school, like the 6th or 7th grade. So I feel like Oda, he's showing my age here. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. We pump out different content all the time. As Nami and Usopp are about to get attacked, the monster trio returns. Sanji uses an Ifrit Janbei attack, Luffy's elephant whip, and Zoro's dragon twister, and they attack this cat. This is a callback to chapter 162 when they attack the giant Sandora dragon, and if you put the two side by side, they're almost identical. It's just that the attacks are upgraded and there's different creatures, as well as the title for this chapter and 162 are almost the same. A big discussion that has started was the fact that Sanji, he used his Ifrit Janbei here, and the reason why this is such a big deal is because this was Sanji's power up in Wano, similar to how Zoro got King of Hell and Enma, and Luffy, he unlocked Rio, Advanced Conquerors in Gear 5th. The fact that, I mean, Luffy used Gear 4th here, I think that's an error because he used the term Elephant Gun and Luffy never uses that whenever he attacks in Gear 4th. But the fact that Sanji, he had to use the Ifrit Janbei here, it kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, you know, if they didn't need to go all out, then why did Sanji need to? I think Oda could have written it to where Sanji just used a normal attack, or at the very least made him use the Diablo Jamba. There has been a discussion whether or not Oda's just made some errors in his drawings, or it's the hallucination from the green fairy drink, because there's been a few panels and images in this chapter where characters have weapons or gear, and then another panel it's missing, and a big one is that Luffy, his straw hat is nowhere in sight. So a lot of people are saying that the straw hats are hallucinating, but it also could be Oda's errors. And you know, not just Oda, but there are plenty of mangaka out there that make errors in their drawings. Recently, there's been different panels of characters that have scars in one panel, and then the very next one, the scars are gone. Mangaka, they're human, they make errors too, and typically these errors are fixed whenever the official volumes drop, so it's not that big a deal. But in this chapter, there are a lot of errors and inconsistencies, so it could be Loki, it could be the green fairy drink, or it also just could be Oda's errors. We got to see the monster trio in their Elbaf fits. Luffy also mentioned that they grilled up a rabbit earlier, so the aroma in the beginning of the chapter was these three individuals eating the ear god, which honestly, this doesn't surprise me. Luffy, he has a helmet with horns and a cape similar to Nami. He probably has my second favorite outfit. Zoro's, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my least favorite of the Straw Hats. It's not bad, it's just my least favorite. I definitely think the other ones are better. He has goggles or a mask. I think we'll have to wait to see it a little bit more in the anime, but I think this is Oda's way of referencing the mask of Zoro. And then Sanji, his outfit makes him look kind of like a knight. It reminds me of whenever he was disguised as a celestial dragon guard back in the movie Gold. This was a shorter chapter. I will say I definitely think that this gave me pre-time skip vibes. It could be because it's the original 5 or the Straw Hats that met the Giants originally on Little Garden. And what I mean by pre-time skip vibes, I'm not saying that the post-time skip is bad. I think the comedy has gone down a little bit. Granted, the Straw Hats needed to get a little bit more serious, so you can understand why the comedy's not as prevalent. But I love characters like Robin, Chopper, Frankie, and the other Straw Hats that we were introduced to. But whenever you add more characters, that means it's going to be less screen time for others, and so not every character is going to be able to be fleshed out during every arc. So it's kind of refreshing seeing these 5 again, and I wonder if that means that they are going to be the key figures for this arc. But that's it for chapter 1127. We're supposed to be on break next week. I don't know why Viz is saying that we're going to get a chapter in the next 7 days. Like I said, we're supposed to be on break, so maybe that's just an error. I don't know, but you know, we're going to be on break next week. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about the start of Elbaf in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never saw a new video. Follow my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.